Hey guys, we're live. How are you guys doing? So guys, welcome to the Camp Haunted Cabin 13. Nice. Let me just polish my glasses here so I can see you guys. There we go. Put the fob down. So you guys can tell, guys. You might give a little bit of a giveaway, but you might think I don't have anything on underneath this, right? We're going to put that on hold. Keep a bit of a narrator going, guys. Definitely.
Does Canada's Garage have licensed technicians? Trust Canada's Garage for brakes, tires, and everything in between.
Mess up here.
When was the last time you felt like the most powerful being in the world?
So, guys, we got a cool, awesome 18 plus and up show, guys. Definitely back here for you guys tonight. Some haunted magic show, guys, live. And definitely we're going to do this Halloween night, but I wanted to get it done early, so definitely. So, oh, change down to my magical beds. There we go. That for another day. So anyhow, again, one of those hot days, guys, definitely. And just getting kind of letting the spirit get into things here, guys, definitely. Now I'm gonna pour myself a glass. I'm gonna try to pour myself a glass of water here, guys. Now, this one here, I don't know how this is gonna hold, but hope we don't have any leakage. Definitely. Doing pretty good. A couple drinks of this. Now you guys are gonna be shocking. What tonight's gonna be like. I'll put that up there. Hope it does not fall. We have a testing back here, guys. And definitely. Now, some of these tricks, guys, I'm going to show you guys tonight, guys. Don't have to try some of them at home. Especially, because they can be, especially the spiritual one, like the main spiritual ones. I'm going to show you guys, definitely. I'm going to start off with the biggie that everybody is all waiting for here, guys. I'm going to bring you an empty attache case. Okay? You guys can see that? nothing in it. And I'm going to show you guys there is nothing in it. Hope I don't coat it. I have, oh shoot, I did. I coated it. Hang on a second, guys. I locked it. I locked it right back. Sorry guys, I accidentally locked the attaché case. It wasn't meant to do that. So, oh, this is heavy. So again, oh fuck. So I need to go back to the kitchen because I keep locking the one section. We flipped it around a bit, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Again, it's like anything else. Want to make sure where the latches are. This way. So just to let you guys know, the attaché case is empty, guys. You guys can see that, nothing in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the attaché case. We're going to take the King James Holy Bible. I'm just going to do it with my wife's, but I'm not going to be that mean. Okay, you can tell it is black. It's the King James version of the Holy Bible. Put it in the attaché case. Lock it. Twist it around a bit, guys. As I'm going over here to plug in my TV and make sure it is working, because I changed my living room around and I want to make sure that everything is working. So again, just checking my TV, you know. Oh. So again, we twist it around. Remember the Holy Bible, guys, we put into here. So the Holy Bible is still in the attaché case. So we're gonna put the sunshades down because it might get a little bright, guys. What was that? 1, 2, 3. Guys, again, these tricks you guys do not want to try at home, guys, because this will get spooky this Halloween. Definitely, especially when we get into Halloween night, guys. We're going to open it up. Do not attempt any of these tricks, guys. Again, I'm trained in since high school. Definitely. So right there, guys. What do we have? You see the attaché case. So we're gonna put I'm gonna move some things here so you guys can actually see the attaché case. Definitely. on what is about spooky as hell tonight, guys. And definitely. So I think, guys, so you guys can actually see what's appeared in the attaché case, guys. We're going to flip the light on. So you guys can have a easier see on what the Holy Bible turned into. So, there we go. Book number 1. Book number 2. Now, we're going to pull this out here, guys. Now, you might think this is just an empty box, right? Who here thinks this is just an empty box? We don't know. Let's see. Just let you guys know this is to freak you out with, guys. Definitely. So again, just an empty box, right? So you guys think? 1, 2, 3. Alakazam. We're going to take the lid. Remove the lid, guys. Just let you guys know, I've been doing these tricks since knee-high to a grasshopper, guys. So, especially when we get heavily into the spirit illusion, guys. Definitely. And here we are. And what you guys want to see it glow in the dark, because it does glow in the dark, guys. Definitely. And bring it up to the light. Okay. Magic illusion number 1, guys. All from the Holy King James Bible. You'd be surprised what comes out of the King James Bible. Now, we're going to put that back into the attaché case, guys. And so when we do spiritual communication, guys, that trick has been completed. Okay. Now, you wonder what the doll is going to be like back here, guys. When we go into spiritual communications back here, guys, definitely, we are going to do some fancy stuff here. And definitely. Again, I'm going to take a magic hat. And sorry guys, I had to scratch my hand. Magic box. Okay. We're going to see what comes out of that magic box, guys. See? Magic box, guys. Again, I'm going to go over see what's on TV. So as I'm flicking through the TV channels, guys, I have my TV on mute because I can't have too much TV movie sound there, guys. I know it's that store. Definitely. So as you know, I get nice kind of a nice scent here for you guys. Definitely. Yeah, remember the empty box, guys? We'll give that a break for a second. Definitely. It's smelling nice in here, guys. So, see? Oh, it's smelling nice. Give a good start to Halloween. Now, as I'm over checking the TV channels, okay, any of this, guys, I would suggest you do not try at home. Definitely. I mean, I can do, like, some of these little basic tricks, they're fine. But except for the big spiritual illusion of changing the King James Bible into a spirit board. So you see what really translates from it. I was going to use my wife's JW one, but no, I figured I'm not going to be that mean. Totally, because everything originally started with the King James. So, we want to keep it with the Witch's Bible. So, that we call it. It's King James Bible. So look at the time. We have to let the magic box sit for usually about a bit. I think it's that long enough. Okay? For it to actually work, guys. Definitely. We're going to turn it around. Remember, there was nothing in that box. Okay? Remember, I went over to change the TV. You can't hear the TV, guys, because with movies, there's too much copyright sound. So we can't really play movies. So the TV was on mute. So as I was over changing the channel, things were kind of reappearing. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Box in. So just so you guys know, give it a couple taps. Right there. Now we don't know what's gonna happen. Okay. So we'll put this here, guys. Definitely we're gonna open it up. And we're gonna see. Oh, okay. We have coming out of it, guys. Right there. I'll put the box down for a minute, guys. Definitely. So, see? So we got mask number 1, guys. Definitely. I'm going to put that there. And what's this that we got? There we go. A pentagram with healing lotion. I'll put that around here. Put that around my neck. Not a bad thing. Totally. Now, since these are neck pieces, guys, definitely. So, here we go. We got my mom's urn with her ashes in it. Awesome, man. Oh, getting all ready for spiritual communication nights. And I'll show you what we're going to do with these when we see if they're going to move on their own. Definitely, when we get into that part of it. That is the spiritual part of it, guys. I want you to copy. These little basic tricks anybody can do. Totally. But the one where changing the Holy Bible into a Norwegian spirit board, guys, don't you ever try that. Don't you guys ever try that. I've been doing this shit since high school. Again. Another mask. Surprisingly. Matches my shirt too. I will wear these later on tonight, guys. Definitely. Bag. Who figures we get a bag? Who would figure that we would get a bag? We got a cross. Satanic, Celtic. I guess we can say Celtic, satanic cross. If you want to put it at that. Definitely. There we go. Oh, lovely, guys. Lovely. Be surprised what comes out of these bags. Something a little from the never-ending story, guys. The two serpents. Just to let you guys know, the spiritual communication is going to be spooky this year. So this is why we it's still going to be spooky, but this is why we held off the what's the house, guys? Definitely. And voila. So I'm going to take the bag and put the bag in my back pocket. Fold it up. And that, oh, wait, oh, shoot, the bag just disappeared. I lost the bag. Voila! I just lost that bag. What else is not there? I'll put that there. Tuck my pocket in. I pull my pocket out. I tend to do that. Again, we're gonna rotate this thing again, guys. And we're gonna go, see, guys, empty. 1, 2, 3. Give it a twist around. Oh, it looks like there's a black wallet. I'll pull that out, guys. And we're gonna put the box back over here. And what do we have? We have 3 6s. Right there. The mark of the beast. The 666, guys. Definitely. Followed by Satan, the devil himself, guys. The Jack of Spades. Right there. Now, those are just little basic tricks, guys, that you can do at home. Like the little box stuff. That's fine. But the briefcase stuff, when we get into the big spiritual stuff, guys, and you're gonna see how powerful these are gonna get. And when we get into the spiritual illusion with her back here, guys, definitely do not try those illusions at home, guys. Definitely. We're gonna put them there. We're gonna put that there. Now, this is the part, guys, I get to cover my face. Maybe I'm gonna go with the matching one. And the telephone rings. I'm gonna cover my face. Definitely. So, this is what we're gonna do, guys. Definitely, again, you never know what can happen. Sorry, guys, if I seem a little rusty, guys. I'm going back to my high school ways of when I did magical performing arts, guys. Definitely. And you never know what's gonna happen, right? So, what we're gonna do? We're gonna take the magic hat. Okay, nothing in the magic hat. Right? Oh, my sunshades, I tell you. You're messing with me. So, you guys see there's nothing in the hat? Get situated. 1, 2, 3. Magical wand, guys. Voila. I made that at summer camp, guys, when I was a little guy. Camp Haunter's Cabin, Captain on Lights. It says my initial, TP. Definitely. Throw it on my wrist for luck. That's empty. And voila! Wonderful world of Harry Potter. Is there anything in it? Nope. Nothing's in it, guys. Sucks. Usually when that comes out of the hat, something is. We're gonna see what happens here, guys, in a moment. Shut up, friend. I'm busy. You're carrying my stream because you're talking too damn loud. Sorry, guys. Yeah, nothing's in the hat, guys. 1, 2, 3. Huh? Still nothing. Maybe it is. I'm gonna try this. Wave it in the air. 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 Top of my thigh. Whoa. Here we go. It jumped. Now stuff that's what's supposed to come out of the magic hat, guys. Definitely. But somehow, instead of coming out of the magic hat, it didn't come out of the magic hat. It diverged from the hat to my pockets. And let's see how this is going to be quite interesting. Huh? Yeah. Whoa, I got 2 for 1. I get a 2 for 1 deal here, guys. Definitely. There we go. See? That's why I said everything that was supposed to come out of the hat, guys, didn't come out of the hat this time. This was supposed to come out of the hat. It didn't come out of the hat this time, guys. It diverged. Make up the 90 crowd. Okay, I got 2 for 1 deal. Awesome. Awesome, guys. So you guys are gonna we're gonna have a cool spiritual Halloween weekend, guys. We're gonna have a whole spiritual night. Spooky spiritual night, guys. A real shadow things movement. Oh, wait, what's this? Holy shit. There we go. A walking Salvation Army thrift store here. There we go. So when I remember, guys, when I talked about this stuff was supposed to be coming out of the magic card of these bottles, but no. They're coming out. They ended up diverting from the hat to my pocket somehow. Oh, I tell you. What's this? What is it? Holy shoot. There we go. This was all supposed to come out of my hat. The hat probably had a mind of its own. So when I attack the magical hat, guys, instead of appearing in the hat, sometimes it diverses. It comes out from somewhere else. Definitely. There we go. Quite awesome stuff, I guess. Well, these are just the basics, guys. Okay. Down here, guys. Remember when I tapped the hat and I tapped my waist and my leg? Definitely. Holy jump-ins. I tell you guys, whole lot of cool magic going on here today, guys. Definitely. There you go. Best trick in the house, guys. Holy. Best trick in the house. Last but not least. There we go. Welcome back to Camp Haunted Hunter's Cabin, guys. Definitely. Huh? Awesome stuff, guys. Well, we're going to get rid of those. That's something. Coming out of my union there. And let's save this for later. Yeah. Oh, there we go. What's that? Alright, a lot of cool stuff, guys. Definitely. I'm going to put those there. So I just wanted you guys to get that out of the way, guys. So there's your Camp Haunted Hunter's Cabin magic show there for you guys tonight. Definitely. And we're doing slowly, bit by bit each night. Definitely. And got my paper there for spiritual communications. You know, I put these away in case I need them again. So again, nothing up my sleeve. Oh, put this back on, guys. Definitely. Again, can't see nothing up my sleeve. But wait. Totally. There we go. Now again, guys, welcome to Camp Haunted Hunter's Cabin, guys. I'm gonna move this temporarily out of the way so we can get on with our Logos Legends tonight, guys. And so that way, guys, spiritual communications will come up. So as I set the, get my chair here. Oh, ladies. Oh, it's good to sit down, I tell you. So guys, as you join me in today, guys, for spiritual communications, and tonight that we were doing, I thought the purpose of the magic show, guys, for Halloween would be different than our haunted house, because normally I do a big live haunted house. And this year I did something different, so I brought back some of my old high school talent. Again, I do apologize. I'm a little rusty at it. I'm getting slow at it. I used to be really quick at it, guys. Like I said, I don't have all my tools anymore that I used to have. Like I don't have my big magical split in half boxes like I used to have. Like I said, I got wrecked in my mom's basement, so I have to figure out, brainstorm, do the plans to make up a new set. Maybe there'll be coffins this time. Definitely. I don't know. But there'll be magical, in some which way or form, magical illusion boxes, but definitely. So I thought maybe I'd give you guys a good scary start. And that kind of stuff like that too as well. Where did that bag go to? Where's the bag? Because remember, I put it in my pocket. The bag disappeared. Remember that. And I'm sitting on gold mine. I tell you, it must be nice. Not really. Oh, there's my bag. There's my bag, guys. Definitely. The old magician's favorite bag. Can't go anywhere without my bag. So she'll be tilted right here on camera, guys, and we're gonna get into. I'm gonna turn over the narrator to our spooky guest speaker, guys. Definitely. Now the basic stuff that you see, like pulling stuff out of hats or pulling, little things, like making the Marie appear in different places, like that kind of stuff. Like that is illusion. But any of the big spiritual stuff you ever see me do, like spiritual communications, that kind of spiritual magic, transitioning spirits from wherever into this thing, don't you guys ever try it. I've been doing this since high school, so I took a professional course on it, so on how to do it safely. So I've mastered that. Definitely. It may not cooperate with everybody because everybody's different. Definitely. So So yes, it can backfire on you. It's a risk I take all the time. Sorry about the narrator. We get these advertisements from time to time on the narrator, guys.
Spider Queen. I didn't mean to. I'm not a fighter. I'm an HP guy. I'm the one who takes the hits while the
I went on a Tinder date a couple years ago. Everything started out relatively normal. We met at a nice downtown restaurant for dinner. She was even prettier in person, and the conversation was flowing. However, it didn't take long for me to realize that she was a very private person. For example, she would not tell me her last name, where she worked, or say anything at all about her family. She made it clear that she was protecting herself, and honestly, I don't blame her. I shrugged it off and the date continued. She took great interest in the fact that I was in seminary studying to be a pastor. That was nice because usually that's a deal breaker for most women, at least in my experience. Towards the end of our meal, she confessed something to me. I have something to tell you, she said, but please don't think I'm crazy. I braced myself for whatever she was about to say. She explained that she recently moved into a new apartment. She lived alone, which was also a new thing. Though she couldn't put her finger on it, she was convinced that there was a presence of a sinister and paranormal nature in her apartment. She had hardly slept since she moved in because she was plagued with constant nightmares and strange occurrences. I could see the fear and exhaustion in her eyes. She seemed quite sincere. I can tell you're a good guy, she said. She elaborated that I seemed trustworthy and had a calming presence. I know how this sounds, but would you please come back home with me tonight? Honestly, I'm just scared to go back there alone. I am not looking for sex. I was really taken back by this. It's not every day I get asked to spend the night with a beautiful woman whom I had just met. I figured she was either telling the truth or she picked a really odd way to initiate sex. Either way, the night would be interesting. We talked for a bit longer.
So you guys know we just can't fire both legends, guys.
I followed her home, and when I walked into her apartment, I was immediately struck with bad vibes. There was just something ominous about that place. I didn't want to freak her out, so I kept these feelings to myself. I said a quick prayer and followed her to the bedroom. She wasn't kidding about the sex. I tried my luck, but was met with swift rejection. We kissed and cuddled for a bit, nothing too crazy, and then she fell asleep. I just laid there for a while in the silent darkness, lost in thought. Sometime later, I 100% heard someone walking down the hallway outside of the room. The door was closed, however, so I couldn't see anything. I was definitely frightened, but my curiosity got the better of me, so I went to investigate. Slowly, I opened the door. I looked to my left, and then to my right. Nothing. I walked downstairs to check out the rest of the apartment. Nothing. I went back upstairs to check the bathroom and the guest bedroom. Nothing. When I walked out of the guest room, which was right across from my date's bedroom, I looked to my left and to my right again. At the end of the hallway, I saw a black figure standing there perfectly still. It was almost like a shadow, but I could discern that it was, in fact, a three-dimensional figure. This figure was very large in stature. There's no way it could have been my date. She was maybe 5'1" at best. I ran back into my date's room. To my horror, she wasn't in bed where I left her. I called out her name, but there was no response. I had just walked through the entire apartment, so it literally made no sense to me that she wasn't there. The bed was low to the ground, so she couldn't be under it. The closet was opened also, and it was packed with boxes, so I knew that she wasn't there either. The window was shut tight, plus it was the second story. She had vanished. I grabbed my wallet, my keys, and my cell phone, and ran out of the apartment in nothing but my underwear. The shadowy figure was gone. I jumped in my car and sped away. I never heard from her again. Her Tinder profile was deleted the next day, and she never responded to any of my texts. To this day, I have no idea what the hell happened that night. I also never went back to her apartment. This was hands down the most terrifying, inexplicable thing that ever happened to me. I was sitting on my bed, trying to ignore the texts my abusive ex was sending me. I was dating my now husband, and my ex didn't take kindly to it. He was sending me text after text, switching between being apologetic and threatening me. I was sitting on the bed. The headboard was against the window, and I was leaning on it. Eventually, I grabbed my phone and text back, telling him to stay the hell away from me, when I hear his message tone go off right behind me. I turn around, open the curtains, and he was sitting right there in the bushes. This was a few years ago. I lived in an apartment, and in my room, if you looked out the window, you could see another building that had a lot of offices. And every night, I would be able to see a black figure just standing there watching me. It was scary as hell. I tried flashing a light at it a few times to see a person or something. But it was just a black figure. And sometimes it would move. As soon as the sun would start setting, I would close the blinds. And I did that for a few months. And eventually, the black figure didn't show up anymore. To this day, I still have no idea what or who it was. And it still creeps me out. I woke up one morning and started making eggs. I'm half asleep still, frying eggs, and I look to the right to the living room, and this old lady is standing there right outside the window staring at me, and she looked brain dead. Eventually she moved and disappeared out of sight. I went outside to find her, but she was gone, and I have never seen her since.
Let's take a few moments to calm the mind and relax the body. Cozy up under the covers.
We have an old farm that we let Animal Rescue keep rescued, abused horses on. One of the horses, a gigantic Clydesdale named Harvey, had a badly scarred, half-skeletal-looking face. He was a walking nightmare, despite being about as dangerous as a wet saltine. One spring, I was sleeping with the window open because I wasn't quite warm enough for the AC. I was woken up by a nuzzling on my leg and assumed it was one of my cats. Then I realized, wait, my cats shouldn't be in here. My windows are open. and I know I left my bedroom door closed. So I opened my eyes, and there is Harvey the horse, eating my blanket. I sat up and screamed, causing him to startle and rip my window out of my wall. My pulse was elevated, to say the least. My company would put us up in the Shiloh Inn downtown when we were in Salt Lake City. A coworker of mine was awakened in the middle of the night by sounds of a bunch of kids in the hallway. It went on for longer than he could tolerate, so he opened the room door to tell them to shush, only to find the hallway empty. He could still hear the children, so figuring that they were in an adjoining room, he called down to the front desk to complain. The man at the front desk claimed to be certain there were no kids staying on that floor, and that he was certain the noise would subside in a little bit. He offered to send up some earplugs if it did continue. My coworker was a bit annoyed. How can you say there are no kids here when I'm hearing kids? The next day when he was checking out, a different clerk made the mistake of asking the routine question. Was everything satisfactory with your stay? My coworker gave her an earful about the noisy children and how the other clerk had dismissed his complaints. The clerk looked a little uncomfortable and said in a half whisper, "We are not supposed to talk about our history with guests. Please do a Google search for Rachel David and you'll understand what happened to you. We get similar complaints every few weeks, and we try to never put kids on that floor." In the van on the way to the airport, he read on his phone the story of how a mother, Rachel David, had tossed her 7 children off of the 11th floor balcony of the hotel and then called the International Dunes to their deaths before jumping herself. My wife and I stayed in a pretty well-known hotel in London. The rooms were pretty nice, but had a door which allowed someone to travel between our room and the one next to us. To do so, you needed to open the door in my room, and then someone had to open theirs in the neighboring room. There was only one handle on each door. One night, I woke up in the middle of the night and thought I saw something moving around. It being the dark in the middle of the night, I just thought it was my wife and dismissed it. The next morning, I found our side of the door cracked open. My mom was traveling for work and sat next to a man, a fellow business traveler, on the plane. They had a casual conversation and exchanged business cards. Later that evening, she's in her hotel watching TV and gets a phone call from the front desk that her husband is there and that they want to know if they can give him a key to the room. She told them that she wasn't married. They called her down to the front after the man had left, and she identified him on the security camera. It was the guy that she had met on the airplane. I was traveling out of the country right after finishing up a huge 5-day work event, where I had about 10 hours of sleep total during the 5 days. I got to the motel, which is kind of run down, and the carpet and blankets are damp, but I'm so exhausted that I don't really care, and I don't really think about it. I fall asleep pretty much immediately at like 8 p.m. At maybe 11 p.m. or so, I get a call from the front desk saying that there's been a complaint about noise. I tell them that that's impossible, that I've been sleeping. They ask me if maybe it's someone else in the room, and I tell them no, I'm here alone, so there's definitely no one else making the noise, not from my room at least. They ask me again if I'm sure. I'm very frustrated at this point, and I say yes, and then go back to sleep immediately once we hang up the phone. When I woke up in the morning and thought about it some more, I realized how weird the entire interaction was. There was absolutely no noise that I could hear anywhere nearby. And I don't know why the motel staff would need to clarify so many times that I was alone. Apparently, they never called. So I assume it must have been someone calling the different rooms to see who was in the rooms and how many people. I've never been so glad that the rooms come with that extra chain lock. When I was like 14 or 15, I went with my family to Las Vegas, and we stayed off the main strip in a 2-bedroom suite. It was a smaller casino hotel. My parents left to go out and enjoy the night while I stayed with my younger siblings.
What's
They
this?
slept in the bedrooms, and I was in the living room watching TV. I think I dozed off at around midnight, and when I woke up, I was in the stairwell outside of the hotel room. I wasn't wearing shoes. I had no cell phone, no room key. I went to the front office and told them that I was locked out of my room, and thankfully they believed me and let me back in. I still don't know why I was out there or what the hell happened. To this day, I have never sleepwalked. Nobody has ever told me that I sleepwalked.
Bob.
I don't know what happened. Maybe that night I did. Maybe something happened during those hours that I cannot remember. But it was creepy enough for me to share. Probably the most bizarre thing that's ever happened to me.
Darn.
I arrived late at a hotel for a business trip. The flight had a malfunction, so we had to land. They fixed it on the tarmac, and we never deplaned. Room already paid for, confirmation number in hand, etc. I got there about 5 hours after I was supposed to be there. Of course, they gave away my room. I already wasn't happy from all the delays, and I wasn't going anywhere. The event I was there for was in their hotel. I wanted my room. I was polite, but resolutely firm. They did some scrambling and asked if I would consider a damaged room that was under construction. As long as the sheets are clean so I can go to bed, I don't care, was my response. Mistake. The room they gave me was literally a crime scene. The case had been closed, so there was no legal issue to contend with, but someone had been killed, or at least nearly killed, in that room. They had primed over the blood stains on the walls and the ceiling, but had only taped down semi-clear plastic over the pooled blood on the carpets. Multiple small holes in the walls had obviously been patched and sanded, but they were multiple small holes in the walls. They gave me a completely new bed and TV from on-site inventory, so I was comfortable, but man, it was creepy as hell. The creepiest part was the priming job. It was so obviously blood splatter all over the walls. You could still see the pink underneath the white. You could see where the person had been hit and where they fell. You could also see how they tried to get up and where they had finally collapsed.
Okay, this is gonna be tough. Last week, I
Hey, it's gonna be a long night tonight, guys.
I didn't mean.
I checked into a hotel on vacation. Everything was going all right. I woke up one night to erratic movement of the door handle, as if someone was trying to get in or break the door down. It always happened in the dead of the night when I was in a deep sleep. As soon as I woke up, it would stop. I spoke to a hotel manager about it, and he told me it was a patient who was recently released from a mental institution, who does this as he still thinks he's locked up in the institute. A combination of not taking his medication and sleepwalking makes him randomly try to open and kick down the doors within the hotel. The family was very wealthy and connected, and the manager didn't want to kick up a fuss for chucking out someone who could shut his business down very quickly and easily. I left after only 1 week because it seemed to get worse every night. This story still makes me shudder. We were traveling with another couple who had budget restrictions, and we needed to find a last-minute place to stay in Las Vegas. We had been looking forward to a nice hotel with a pool to kick it by and just chill out. They couldn't afford it, so they found a super cheap Airbnb with a pool. We were trying to be good, flexible travelers, so we agreed to compromise. As we were driving to the place, I tried to ignore the increasing amount of poverty and strung out people on drugs on the street looking lost. I pulled into the apartment lot, and I said nothing. My husband and I looked at each other. It looked like a seedy apartment place from District 13. As we walked into the building, I was overcome by the smell. It was sweet, and at the same time, horrible beyond belief, with a layer of perfume on top. My body would not let me breathe in the smell, and I had to cover my mouth with my shirt sleeve in order to breathe. I was on the tail end of the flu, so I had been nauseous for days, and figured I was just being sensitive. We hurried to see the pool, and it had a big sign, under renovation. Covering my mouth as we went back into the building, we checked out our apartment. It was clean, and the smell didn't permeate into it, so we agreed to stay. That next morning, I woke up having had the worst dreams of my life. People getting stabbed and shot. Constant horror all night in my head. My husband seemed interested in what I had dreamt about, and I didn't want to get into it, so I just said it was people being hurt. When we got home in a couple of days, I brought up the smell in the hallway. It wasn't until then that my husband told me that it was the odor of a decaying human body. Oh, thank you very much for telling me. My husband is a paramedic, so he knew for sure what the smell was. He smells the worst smells known to humanity on a weekly basis. At university, I used to work through the night to get projects finished, but would break at around 2 a.m. to go for a walk. The city where I studied had excellent footpaths that meant you could walk from anywhere to anywhere without crossing a single road. The path system had bridges and underpasses. One night, when my final project wasn't compiling for whatever reason, I went walking and found what I thought was a glove at the entrance to an underpass. Further inside was what looked like some refuse sacks. But something felt really wrong. So being an indestructible, naive 20-year-old, I investigated to find that the glove was actually a severed hand, and the refuse sacks were a dismembered body. One quick phone call to the police later, and I missed my deadline being questioned by the police. When I was 15, my much older cousin was going through a nasty divorce. She and her 2 little boys fled from her abusive husband and moved very far away to be closer to us, the rest of her family. Her husband ended up following her to our town and rented a room from a guy that he knew from years back. He was threatening her and the kids almost daily. I drove with my cousin to pick up her son from school one afternoon. She walked in and was told by the teacher that their father had collected them earlier that day. She completely freaked out and drove straight to the police station, where she begged them to accompany her to the apartment to get her kids back. We drove there with the 2 police officers in tow. When we arrived, an older lady was there banging on the door, saying that she hadn't heard from her son, the guy that owned the apartment, in days, and that she was worried. His car wasn't there, but she knew something wasn't right. Police eventually break in the door after speaking to the neighbors and hearing stories of a fight a few nights ago, and probably the awful smell coming from the inside. We found a guy he was living with dead, rolled up in a carpet behind the couch. I still remember the top of the head just barely sticking out of the rug when we all noticed it. They found her husband that afternoon in the victim's car, with the two boys thankfully unharmed. He tried to use the guy's credit card to rent a car, but he probably knew that they would be looking for that one too. I had plans to take my grandma out.
So we're gonna stop it there, guys, because they do get good, but they get very, very long, guys. We can only do bit by bit each night. So how we're gonna say the best for Halloween weekend, guys? Definitely. That is our spooky, spiritual spook show, guys. Definitely. So, definitely do not copy my spooky illusions that weekend, guys. Definitely, because that's where we get into the heavy illusions, where we go into spiritual communications, and you're kind of definitely in the dark. I recommend it to be very quiet. Again, you're going to see a lot of crazy movement that night, those nights, all the way into Halloween night, guys. Definitely. Be advised. So again, 18 plus, nobody under 18, please. Definitely. And
New look.
sorry about the narrator, guys.
Same great rice. Dear Ben's original.
This Halloween, kids can be scarier and safer with Nissan Glow Guards. These reflective stickers.
So keep the spooky going a bit longer, guys. Cool. It's not bad. It's 9:51, and definitely. So usually we're kind of a midnight show, but it is dark enough tonight. Definitely. Again, so we kind of did the spooky magic show, guys. Definitely. So far, the briefcase illusion, guys. Don't you guys ever try that one, because that one will definitely spiritually backfire on you. Little basic stuff is fine, but anything of the spiritual stuff that I do, like the attaché case one, and the big spiritual weekend. Definitely, guys. That's going to, guys. Make sure you're well entertained. Be 18 and over. Do not copy me on that one, please. Definitely. So, again, I've been doing this since high school, guys. So, thank you guys so much for tuning on in, and stay spooked. And there's more yet to come. So, midnight spook shows, guys. All Halloween weekend, Devil's Night, Halloween night, guys. Definitely. Have a great night, guys. Stay scared. Live from Camp Haunted Hunter's Cabin 13, Part 2. Definitely. Don't cross the wicker square, my friends.